Hey guys, it's Jason of the Tech Truth, and I'm back again for another tech review. It's called the BedJet. It's from a company in Rhode Island, New York. I think they were also on Shark Tank, and it's actually it's a pretty good system. It's working well for us. It allows you lots of flexibility. Everybody can kind of do what they want if that's what you're looking for, and it's only air based. So really the restriction is do you have room for the pieces that I'll show you, and is there a plug-in around? So it's a really cool system. The main portion of it is this box right here, and there's your blower right there. It's really cool because it's firmware updatable, so you can pair it with your Bluetooth, and your system will. All right, we're back. Real life issues, no cuts, making sure it's real for you guys. So you can pair it with your phone, through Bluetooth, which then allows you to not only use the remote that comes with it, or you can use the app. There's an app on your phone. You can download the BedJet app, and it's just like using the remote. It has all the features, except obviously it goes as far as your Bluetooth can, and you can set it from anywhere in your house. The other thing is also Wi-Fi. So you can connect it to your home Wi-Fi. At that point, if you use the remote control or the phone app, you can actually get firmware updates. They'll download, and as things come through, it'll update and change your settings and make it all the better. Fantastic. It's really like I said, it's really simple. So you had your main box, which is your blower. You have your hose, which connects into the box, which then connects into this little piece right here, which is where the air is coming out. Stick it on, stick this piece onto the other one, plug it in, add the clamps. So this goes under your mattress of your bed. So if pretend this is your mattress, you slide it in, you put it underneath, and it's held in there really, really close. At that point, sorry about that. At that point, you have this, which then clamps onto the end of here, like that, which also has a whole bunch of additional pieces, which you can then make it higher or lower, which then you clamp in your hose into here. Your top is on, and this is essentially sitting like this on the top of your bed. But that's not it. You have a number of ways you can then use the blower in your home. So there's a couple options. You can just take it just as is, take the blower, take this part, put it under your sheets, right on your box, right on your mattress. Well, it should go above your sheets, and it's just going to blow in your bed. So you can move this anywhere along your bed, and if that's the case, you can move it anywhere you want it. If you and your loved one have the same temperature, put it in the middle, it's going to blow across. If you just want it on one side, it'll blow mostly on that side, but because it's in your bed, it's going to, obviously, air's going to go across. Or you can put it on the other side and have it blowing at your feet. Just keep in mind when you're using it, you have the remote. There's lots of different settings. I don't know if you can see them on there. There's turbo settings. There's temperature increase, temperature decrease, fan increase, fan decrease. It's great. The remote lights up in the dark so you can see it. It's got a light up screen. You can change it from hot to cold. Everything you want. Make it completely accessible to you. The next step, if you want to do this, is they have their own sheet. So with this one, this sheet is going to replace your top sheet on your bed. So you have your one that's going to wrap around the bottom, right? And then you have your other one, your sheet, that's going to be just above, and then you'd have your comforter or whatever else you have on top. Well, this sheet is going to replace that. And as you can see by the instructions here, it's going to give you some different ways to be able to use this system. So when you put it on your bed, you spread it out. I will say the one issue I have with the sheet is You can buy it for different sizes, so you can get it for a queen size, you can get it for a king, you can get it for a double, whatever it is. I find that when I find on ours, it's not, although it's good width wise, I don't think it's long enough. I guess maybe it depends on how you sleep and how you make your sheets, but like I try to tuck ours in at the bottom and then take it right to the top. And I find that with the sheet, it's either it's right at the top or it's not tucked in. So you kind of have to give. So even if you're tucking it in, it doesn't feel like it goes quite as far. So it's, for me and for our family, it's just finding, it's, for me and my wife, I guess, it's just finding that happy medium of where we can kind of tuck it in, kind of get the hose and the blower top on, and still have it high enough for us. The sheet, though, is great because it has 3 different connector areas on here. So it's got 3 different areas, one on each side. So if you want to blow the air into the sheet, and that's the great thing, you can blow it. Essentially, it's blowing at your feet. There's another one that'll go in the middle, blow to every. Oh, in this sheet, well, it depends what sheet you have. Sorry, if you have the single sheet, it's in the middle in that case, and it just blows in between. The sheet has 2 layers essentially, and it's just going to blow in between those 2 layers within the sheet, and it'll blow through the whole sheet. If you and your partner don't like the same temperatures, there's another sheet you can get which essentially splits the sheet. So you'll have 2 areas. You'll have it's sewn down the middle, really, like sealed in the middle, and then you have a left and a right. And although it's not perfect, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, it is actually pretty good at separating the heat zones in your bed. So if you have one of these systems, you can then put it on one side, it'll heat that side, the right side. If you want, you put it on the left side, it'll heat just the left side, and the other person doesn't have to have anything. It's actually not that bad. We've used it like that. It's actually pretty good. I get a little bit of heat over there, but unless I like completely go off to the other side, you really don't feel the temperature. So the other great thing about this is that when you put it on the bed, it's got directional. So it's directions. So there's a part that needs to go up, and there's a part that needs to go down. It's very important because when you actually get the blower and you put it in one of these sections where it's buttoned up, so you unbutton it, you stick this in, it goes up same way as you would normally without it. It sits on the top, but it's between your sheets now, between the layers of that top sheet. You pin it up at the bottom so that it's far enough down that you're pinning it up somewhere in here and it's tight, and the other part's at the top. It's got actually the sheet itself has like I don't want to call them holes, but there's like little areas that actually allow the heat to come down on your, like where you're sleeping. So it's separated. It's got a normal top on it, but that bottom section of that one sheet is actually got little areas that you can actually feel the heat blowing down from, and they're all the way through the whole sheet. It's great. It really is. And the temperature it gets to is, if you wanted to leave it on, you get really hot, like to the point where you're sweating is how warm this thing can get. Same for cold. You can cool it off to the point where like you're freezing if you like it like that. And if you want, there's also the option you can get a system, and I'll talk prices in a second, where you can get 2 of these systems. So you can have one for one spouse, one for another spouse, and you can have 2 different temperatures on each side of the bed. Like I said before, my wife and I are very different temperature people on how we sleep. Fantastic system. She can be absolutely freezing. She turns hers up to high. It's blowing warm air. If I'm just a little cold, I put it on medium. I really don't feel what she's got. I can even put it on cold if I'm a hot sleeper, and I'm actually cool. Fantastic system. You know, we've been using it for multiple months now. I don't think I've had an issue with it. Really, like the system itself is great. Other than 3 things that could be improved. Not a big deal. As you can tell by this, because if this is your mattress, this is your hose, it does stick out a little bit. So you have that inch and a half, whatever it is, that sticks out, that you honestly have to get used to, because if you're used to walking around your bed and maybe you walk close to your bed, you just hit it, you keep walking. You got to be careful because there's potential you're going to hit this, you're going to knock it, could pull it apart. It's pretty sturdy. I don't see it breaking, but you could pull apart. You got to adjust it. Same if you put it on the side. If you walk into your bed and you're walking along this and you have pointed at your feet, it's going to come up. There's a chance you're going to knock it. So it could be flatter. That would be nice. The thing I already talked about, the sheet could be longer. That would be a great thing. I think for people that like to tuck it in, keep it up top, that's great. And the final thing is, because you have to plug this portion of it in, I don't think the cord, in some situations, depending on everybody's house, I don't think the cord is always going to be long enough. And because you're using a system that's taking quite a bit of power, when you're using it. It's not on there. Sorry, I meant to have that. It's strongly implied and suggested that you plug it straight into the wall without using an extension cord. So I could see how in some cases, depending where your plug is, it's not going to reach your wall at the back or at the front or at the side. And if it is at the side, you're going to have a cord going across where you potentially walk to trip on. The other issue, so I guess there's 4, my bad. The other one is again, this, if you look at it, the size of it, it can be pretty big. So if you don't have a lot of room at the end of your bed, you don't have room under your bed, which is ideal spot for it. If you can slide it underneath, it's out of the way, the hose comes up, right back to the mattress, out of the way, done. If you don't have that, it's got to sit somewhere. So it's either at the end of your bed or it's at the side of your bed, and you have this box that is going to be there. Don't get me wrong, it's not super large. It's probably double this hose right here. Not huge if you put it on its side, and there's nothing saying it has to be flat, the big, like width-wise. But something to be aware about, that it's going to take up a little bit of room. If it's on the side of your bed, it's going to take up a little bit of room. But quite honestly, after using it, if you and your spouse have temperature issues in bed where you both like different temperatures, buy the dual zone sheet that they have. Get the package with two of the systems in it, and I bet you'll never be complaining again. Everybody's going to be happy. So here's where you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit. If you get the single system with no sheet, it's just a little less than it's going to be a little less than $5.99 US. If you get a sheet, it goes up a little bit. If you want the dual system, you're looking at about $1,200 to $1,300, but that one does come automatically with the dual zone sheet. So it's kind of a package deal, save a little bit of money, don't have to worry. It comes with it. You can also buy another sheet, which is going to add on another about $50 to your overall price of this if you want to, switch sheets without having to wash one, put it back on, whatever. But if you're thinking about it, I absolutely would go for it. If there's different, everybody's got their own temperature when they sleep, because quite honestly, it's easy. Yeah, it takes up a little bit of room. It's air, so you don't have to worry about water. Plug it in. It's just done. Everybody has their own temperature. It doesn't matter what's going on. It talks about lots of things in the box, and you can go look at the website about, if you get out of the shower and want to dry yourself off, hop in bed. That's weird. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But that's how warm it can get. Dry heat it. There's an option for dry heat, dries you off. Super cold warms you up. Super hot cools you down. But quite honestly, folks, it's a great product, and if you really want it, I honestly suggest figuring out a way to get it. It was quick shipping. It was free shipping. There's tech support for it. I haven't had to use tech support. Like the instruction manual that comes with it, pretty detailed. It's quite thick, but it tells you how to use the remote, tells you how to use the app, tells you how to use the system, tells you how to set up your sheets, tells you how to lock it in place. Goes through everything. So really, if you got room under your bed, you got a plug-in on the back of your bed. Honestly, you're going to plug it in, you're going to go, and you're both going to be happy. This has been Jason at Tech Truth. Tech Truth is out there. We'll see you next time.